Kerwin Tan. Man, how you been doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
You're a young guy. You're a prospect. You're coming up in the Philippines. You're coming up in Asia, flyweight. A lot of people don't know who you are though. Like, talk about where
Yeah.
you got started.
Well, I started MMA, honestly speaking, was almost 2 years ago. Um, I actually have a friend who does kickboxing, boxing, jiu-jitsu, all that stuff. And then I became, I find interesting. Um, one day I went to gym with him and then tried training those things. And then, yeah, it became my addiction till it became my passion. Then my team decided, to have my debut, MMA debut. Then I won, just to be exact, as far as I remember, 28 seconds in round one via rear naked choke. And then there, it became my passion. I train every day. Even I have a full-time job, so it's really difficult to train every day at the same time you have a full-time job.
What is
So
your
there,
full-time job?
it's actually an international. It's a BPO company. It's like a call center here in the Philippines.
When you got started, what was your base, or did you just start with MMA?
I actually directly train MMA, but my base is more on grappling, jiu-jitsu.
Grappling. I seen a couple pictures. I think. Do you train at Cobrina's over there in the Philippines or?
That's where my jiu-jitsu. That's for my jiu-jitsu. Cobrina. Under Cobrina, sorry.
Who is your coach out there?
It's Mark Entrata.
Okay, okay, all right. Now, you said that you made your debut, but that was that your amateur debut?
Yeah, amateur debut.
How many amateur fights did you have?
Well, I just actually had one amateur fight, and then
Mm.
they actually given me two pro fights, which I actually had. The last one I had was 2018 December actually, but I train every day. It's
So you ha
because of my job. That's the main reason. That's why let's say I have a fight this coming month, so um, due to my job, so I was not
mm,
able to continue fighting. But I train every day. You know.
all right. Well, so you had one amateur fight, two pro am fights, and this one coming
Mhm.
up in on February 29th is going to be your professional debut.
That's correct. Yep.
And you get to have and you're the main event.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about being the main event, in your first professional fight?
Well, of course, it's gonna be exciting for me. I've actually watched some of the fights of my opponent coming from Korea. It's honor to share the cage with him. He's a great fighter. I saw his wrestling. He has a good wrestling, and also his striking. What I like more is the cage control. So it's gonna be exciting. So I'm glad to be there on 29 and to fight one of the best. I could say I can say one of the great MMA fighter in Korea. So this will be exciting for me.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely Choi. He's definitely one of the best prospects in the flyweight division coming up in Korea.
I think it's the Korean Zombie as
Yeah.
his coach. So
Yeah. So you in your first fight, you'll go to Korea, you'll be the main event, and you'll fight against one of Korean Zombies fighters.
yep.
That's
And
pretty
I'm
that's
I'm
pretty
excited
good for a
for it.
professional debut.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big opportunity for me. That's why I've actually grabbed it when
Mhm.
the promoter contacted me, and I was like, "Oh, really? This big fight?" But of course, I want to showcase my skills, show them what I've got, what Filipino fighters made of. So
Well,
there.
from what I've seen, from what I could find of you, you do have some great ground control. You can control your opponents on the ground really well. Um, And I think that this is a good matchup. I think that's why they called you, because I feel like they feel this is a good matchup, and you could put two fighters against each other from different countries. And I think that's what they want to
Mm,
do, is they want to bring more fighters into Korea, out from outside of Korea, and give them opportunities, because that's what it's about. You need to have some opportunities, right?
yeah, that's what I've been actually waiting for.
Yeah, because in the Philippines, it's very hard to find opportunities for the younger prospects, right? There's not many promotions.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Now, with training, you say you train and then you have a full-time job. For this fight, do you
Hmm.
make any changes or do you just continue the same routine?
Well, of course, it's gonna be same routine, but we add some techniques and also focus more on my striking, especially my opponent. He has a good striking, I could say, and like what I mentioned earlier, he has a good wrestling, which will be exciting. About for me, it's gonna be exciting fight for me because I've been fighting three fights I had. Well, actually, I haven't fought any grappler yet. That's, I mean, their background is more on striking, so that's why I find it, this more exciting. And also going back, I'm focusing more on my game plan, you know, how to win this fight, and also same routine actually after work, directly go to gym, do some training, and then also do some sprint jog before I go to work. So there, that's what that's my daily routine. But now, since it's gonna be in Korea, it's a big fight, so I need to be prepared, more prepared than before.
So you do your grappling at Cobrinha, you do your MMA at Hitman MMA. Talk about Hitman and the team that you guys have over there.
Sure. Well, Hitman MMA is actually based here in Manila, Quezon City, and our head coach is he's actually professional MMA fighter in one championship. He's Bern Soriano, if you're familiar with Bern, and yeah, he actually he teach MMA, um, all the cage controls, all that stuff, MMA stance. I got it actually from Bern Soriano. So he taught me a lot in MMA. So I became addicted to it. So there.
Who are your training partners out there at Hitman MMA?
It's actually Mac Adrian Makatangay. He will have his debut in one championship, I think, in March, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So he's your main guy.
Hmm. Yep. Oh yeah, and then Bern Soriano. He's actually focusing on my cage control as well. We drills a lot, also sparring twice a week, MMA spar, boxing, and also my boxing is actually different. Is in different gym as well. The name of the gym is Tiger Boxing Gym.
Mm.
So yeah.
All right. Well, sounds good, man. You have a good core group of coaches and training partners, and you have boxing, you have MMA, you have jiu-jitsu. So you're getting ready. And now with going back to how you got this fight, how did that all that happen? Just the promoter just messaged you one day, and did you even believe like they were contacting you from Korea, or what happened? How did this happen?
Me too, man. I wasn't expecting that I'll get that call. Well, actually, if you're familiar with Gab, the Incredible, fighter from the Philippines who fought in UFC in UAE
Orlando.
war, yeah, Rolando. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's a friend of mine. So yeah, they actually created a group, and then they just they just added me on that group. I was surprised, of course, but since I train every day, so he contacted Bern Soriano, and then Bern Soriano, which is my head coach, contacted me, to let's go with it, let's do it. So you've been waiting for. He said to me, and I was lucky. Yes, I will. I'll do it. It's a big opportunity that everyone or every MMA fighter's dream, to have that kind of promotion. So I'm really thankful that and I was chosen by the promoter from Korea. And also, my opponent accepted it. So I'd like to thank to my opponent as well.
You know, if everything goes well in the main event, you take out Choi, how do you think you take him out? Do you think that it's going to be a long 3 round fight, or do you expect to, go in there and snatch up the neck, or what do you see happening?
Well, one thing I could see and I can predict, of course, only one can, will win on this fight. It's either him or me. But what I am, seeing on that fight is that, yeah, it's going to be a tough fight. Of course, one of the great fighter that I'll be fighting. I think it's gonna, end up on ground. I think, well, for me, whatever it goes, I have boxing, I have Muay Thai, I have kickboxing, I have jiu-jitsu, I have wrestling. Um, yeah, I might say that I have I have the skills that I've actually got from my trainers, coaches, teammates. So whatever it goes, I'll follow. And one more thing is that I don't want it to end up a decision or decision something like that. So I always think that I'll be finishing it. It's either a referee stoppage or it's gonna be top out.
All right. Well, say that you go in there, you get a win, you win the main event.
Mhm.
You take out a top prospect. Do you want to continue with Zeus FC? Do you want to fight for them more?
Of course, yep. It's a big opportunity, and it's outside of our country. So it's an honor to to uh, fight, and also representing your country. So it's really good feeling that you're representing your country, going to other country.
Yeah, they're one of the probably the fastest growing promotion in Korea right now, MMA promotion. So it is a big opportunity. Plus they're on TV. There's big production going on now because they have good sponsorships and funding. But they don't have the champions yet. And I think this year they're gonna build like flyweight champions, bantamweight champion, featherweight champion. So it could be a huge opportunity for you, in the future later this year to become a champion in the organization. I'm looking forward to it, Kerwin. Good luck on the fight, man. And I'll see you in Korea. I'll be at the event.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Sean. Yeah. Thank you.